The only way that real change ever takes place is when millions of people stand up and demand justice. It was such a beautiful day. I was wondering how many people would come out. Well, you did, and I appreciate it very much, and I want to thank the many people who couldn't get in, who are in the overflow. So thank you all very much for coming out. We are today also one. So we are here today to tell the folks who at one point had voted for a progressive candidate for President Barack Obama, but then for whatever reason ended up voting for the people of Decorah and all of Iowa, that Donald Trump lied to them, as he does all of the time. His tax proposal gave 83% of the benefits over a 10-year period to the top 1%. The people who need it the least. And then you end up with a situation where companies like Amazon that made $10 billion in profits last year. Anybody here know how much Amazon paid in taxes? You should not be hiring undocumented people. We want to throw them out of this country. Bring your factories back to America. Well, what everybody here should know is that Donald Trump manufactures his tie line in, have heard every day, Trump demonizing undocumented people in this country. About 11 million undocumented people in this country. And he demonizes them. He wants to throw millions of them out there, terrible, etc., etc. And yet, if you check the record, it turns out that Donald Trump had no problem hiring undocumented immigrants to help him build the Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C., and the Trump Tower in New York City. The issue that we hear a lot of discussion about. And we don't hear a lot of discussion about it because in Congress, many of the members of Congress receive their contributions and get elected because of the support they receive from the very wealthy. And we don't hear a lot about this on the media because the media is owned by and large by the very wealthy. But for the health care that we need. It means taking on, and this is a huge one, it means taking on the fossil fuel industry. Introduced the most aggressive and comprehensive climate change legislation ever introduced, not only by any presidential candidate, but I think any candidate for federal office. In terms of education, a dysfunctional child care system, which is unfair to the children and is unfair to their parents. And if we consider 0 through 4 to be the most important years of human development, why don't we treat those little children with the respect and they are entitled? And that's why That is why we are going to create a universal, affordable child care program in this country. Income schools, put money into those schools into all over America, where teachers are dealing with kids with a variety of disabilities. And in terms of higher education, let me tell you something, which I'm proud of, very proud of. And by the way, here in Iowa, I want to thank you for this. I came here to Iowa 4 years ago, and nobody knew who I was. And we were, I don't know, 50 points behind in the polls, and everyone said, who is this senator from Vermont, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and among other things.
The list goes on: health care for some, prisons for profit, the border crisis, student debt, a laughable minimum wage. How lucky are we that Bernie Sanders...
In the United States and abroad, he has consistently fought alongside all oppressed people against the evils of hatred, inequality, and greed. And as we are up against the possibility of electing one of the biggest hate mongers in the history...
Your name again?
Danielle.
Danielle, it's still Danielle, you haven't changed it. All right. Danielle just told us she was paying $1,700 a month. Yes? That is 17, that's like $20,000 a year for healthcare, yeah? And I don't believe it because it's not true. No president of the United States alone can take on Wall Street and the drug companies and the fossil fuel companies and the military industrial complex and the prison industrial complex. The only way that real change ever takes place, you all know history, whether it's the labor movement or the women's movement or the civil rights movement or the gay movement or the environmental movement, the only way that real change ever takes place is when millions of people stand up and demand justice. It's the only way change takes place.